Hmm. All right, all right. I know it's late, but we'll see who's gonna hang with the party people tonight. I know it's late. I was just kicking it with the wife for a little bit. We was looking at some old school cartoons called the Thugaboos from the Wayans and all of that. So was checking that out. Didn't realize those episodes was like an hour, but yeah, we was checking that out. And I'm feeling much better and refreshed. Figured I hop up here and chop it up with y'all for a little bit. What's going on, my man? You know what, man? I was gonna look at that video, then I got distracted because I had some last minute Ron stuff, and I forgot. But I will definitely look at that video you sent me, and everything. And I was gonna call you. I got to call Matherin back. Oh man, I'm just like all over the place, all over the place. But yeah, I'm gonna check that out, man. I'm gonna check that out. I can tell that's gonna be a good one. That stuff. But yeah, yeah. What's going on, West Palm Beach? Good to see you. Good to see you. Yeah. Good old Virginia's in the house. Man, man, oh man, oh man, oh man. Got something interesting to talk to y'all about tonight. So y'all make sure y'all hit the like button so we can get folk on up in here because you know YouTube don't be wanting to send notifications out to people. So you guys, so when y'all come in, hit the like button, and then that way YouTube will go ahead on and send the notification out. Matter of fact, I'm gonna hit the like button myself on my own video so we can get that popping and everything. Oops. And yeah, so yeah. Now let me ask you this: how many people know what the title means? The title that says "Notaries Trying Not to Get Got." How many people know what that means? Do anybody know what that term means? Notaries trying not to get got. What do you think that term means? And I've been thinking about talking about this for a while, but I just sort of put it off and everything and didn't really think that it was oh, so you don't know what that means. Oh boy. Yeah, yeah. That's the biggest issue right now. Let me do this thing over here on this video. All right, hit the like button. Yeah, a lot of people don't understand. You I have to play something for y'all for you to understand it. You don't know either. So you don't know what get got means. Okay, okay. Now when I play this, then you're gonna understand. And keep in mind, I've never seen this movie in its entirety. I just remember this one scene from the movie. It's over here on Instagram. So YouTube, this is on Instagram. This ain't me trying to play no whole thing. This is just for educational purposes only. Fair use, Mr. and Mrs. YouTube. So turn your volume up because I think it might be a little low. But turn your volume up and check this out. And let me know real quick if y'all can hear it when it's playing.
Don't get angry. I keep trying to tell you and that judge that I do not get angry. If somebody do something to me, I do something to them. This is common sense.
So you believe in getting even?
Hell to the yeah.
Why do you feel the need that you got to get somebody all the time? It's like get them, get them, get them. You don't think that's angry?
If they got me, got me, got me, I got to get them, get them, get them. Yeah, that's what it is.
Well, what you call getting got is a whole lot different than what other people call getting got. It
Can you
doesn't
hear?
take much to get you, does it?
Well, when you getting got and somebody done got you and you go get them, when you get them, everybody's going to get got.
Yeah, but if you're getting somebody that you say got you when they didn't get you to begin with, then you're getting the gotters when they didn't do anything to you.
Yeah,
to
but
get
if
you.
the gotters get me, I'm going to get my Glock.
Yeah, well, but you don't get the Glock when you hadn't been got.
So what I'm trying to explain to you is I don't care who done got me. I'm going to get them first. You get me, I'm going to get you.
Why is it so important?
Okay. I'm tired of you asking me all these questions because I didn't sign up for this. This is the judge that told me to come here. Okay. Everybody wants to get even. Everybody wants to get even. I don't get it.
Now I don't even know which Tyler Perry movie that was from, but that one scene to me says it all for a lot of people. They worried about getting got. And basically it means somebody getting over on you. People are worried that somebody's going to get over on them. And so do you understand what I mean now by notaries trying not to get got? That I've seen over the last 5 years, primarily the last three and a half, is the biggest concern that notaries have. And it's been primarily because of the questions that notaries have been asking me. I keep getting these questions asked about, would you do such and such? Do you think it's beneficial to do such and such? And it's crazy to me because, and now maybe, and tell me, do y'all feel that way? Are y'all concerned about getting taken advantage of? That's really the normal terminology. Notaries are concerned about getting taken advantage of. Is that your concern? Do you have that as a concern? That's because that's really what the issue is. So lately, probably started in November, it's been asked of me more. It's been asked of me more. And a lot of times it's the fellows who ask me this more so than anybody. They will ask, do I think it's worth my time and effort to do ... with this? Do I, like some say, well, do you think signing companies are worth effort doing business for? Do you think traveling this far for a signing is worth it? Do you think taking a signing this is worth it? And a lot of people get upset with me with my response. My response primarily is I turn it back on you and say, is it a disadvantage for you? Because it doesn't matter whether it's a disadvantage for me. And it was something that I wanted to show y'all too. Hold on. This here, let me zoom this in a little bit more. So because what's happening is that, and it sort of clicked in today. I wasn't going to even do a lot, but it clicked in. The problem is comparison. People are trying to make sure that they're operating in this business like everybody else is. If Fred is being successful, I want to be successful. If Shantae is being successful, I want to be successful. So-and-so is showing these successful people, I want to be like them, successful. Because if I'm going to spend the money to be in this business, I don't want to get got. I want the opportunity to make money, to go forward, to do this. If somebody else get got, that's on them. But as long as it's not me. Now, let me share this with y'all. And my wife had mentioned this to me, and that's really what started my brain thinking about this even more. So this is a quote from Teddy Roosevelt. Teddy Roosevelt once said, "Comparison is the thief of joy." Think about it. Comparison is the thief of joy. We know what thieves do. They take something of value from you. So comparison is stealing your joy. And it just clicked in immensely for me when my wife started talking about that, and even more so today when I was thinking about this. Comparison is the thief of joy. Think about it. What do we see so much on YouTube when it comes to this notary business? Somebody, whether male or female, comparing or showing us somebody who we need to compare ourselves to, showing us, oh, hey, you can make money like them, you can make money like me. And there's this constant comparison, and it is messing with people's psyche. So I started thinking, I said, well, part of my success is that I don't try to compare myself to anybody who's doing business out here. I don't care who this trainer is. I don't care who the mentor is. I don't care who the influencer is. I don't compare myself to any of them. I don't try to do my business like any of them. I say, well, I need to do my business the way I need to do it for me. And that is the biggest problem right now. So notaries are trying not to trying not to be taken advantage of, because you are looking at other people. These people are being thrusted in front of you saying, look at them. What's wrong with you? Why can't you make money like this? They're making money. How come they're making money? Because they listen to me. How come they're making money? Because they listen to my program here, my program there. And I'm like, that's really the issue. Now tell me if you agree with that, put a 1 in the chat. If you don't agree with it, put a 2 in the chat. And also tell me why you don't agree with it. Because right now a lot of people will ask me, "Hey Griff, if this was presented to you, do you think you would do it?" And I'm like, why does it matter whether I would do it if this is your business? It shouldn't matter whether, excuse me, it shouldn't matter whether or not I do it, because if I said, yes, I would do it, here's what happens. In the beginning, when I first came on YouTube, people would ask me a question like that. And I would answer them honestly. And I would say, yeah, I can see doing that. Oh, that you better than me. So I'm like, wait a minute. You asked me, but then you told me, you're basically saying, nah, I ain't doing that. So I'm like, you've already made up your mind that you wouldn't take an order for this dollar amount or drive this distance or take this training or whatever it may be or add this to your business. So why you didn't ask me in the first place? That's what I was like, but you've already made up your mind, but yet you want to see if I would do it. Why did you need to know whether or not I would do it? So one of the reasons that I think is because people hear me say I would take this working at. Y'all saw me with the shirt. I leave the house for 60 and all of that. And I believe what people are trying to see is if what I say on here, I mean when I'm not on here. And if I say I would do a order, I would do it, whether I'm on here or not. The thing that I'm trying to communicate to y'all is simply this. There are a lot of factors, and I've shared this. There are a lot of factors that I take into account when said you would do it for some fritters. Yeah. There are some factors that I take when I do this. Now, one of the factors is always logistically. Logistically, can I do this? Am I in a position that I can go do this order and it not mess up anything else that I already have going on? If I can, I would do it. If I can't, then I have to let it go, no matter how much the cost is. There are orders that I've had to let go that was $150 because logistically couldn't do it. I just couldn't make it happen. There's orders that were for a lot less, and I did them because logistically I could do it because the goal is to make money. So if doing this order brings me money, then I'm going to do it. If doing that order could interfere with me making money, regardless of the dollar amount, I'm not going to do it. So the other thing that makes people keep asking these questions about whether somebody would or wouldn't do it, because I know I'm not the only one that's being asked this. I know people go around asking other folk whoever they can get on the phone and talk to. That's why some of these trainers don't talk to y'all because they don't want to be asked these questions. Is that the lack of knowledge about the industry? Why wouldn't you take it? The reason why you're concerned about doing something is because you don't know whether or not that's the proper price. You don't know whether or not it's something that you should or shouldn't do because you don't really understand the industry. Now, at this point in time, how many of you really understand this notary business? Do you really have a good understanding of what being a notary is all about, as well as doing work here in the real estate realm? If you understand, put a 1. If you so or don't understand it all, put a 2. Because it's important. Because see, when you don't understand something, you start questioning whether something should or shouldn't be done because you don't have confidence whether or not doing it is going to be beneficial to you. But when you understand what something is, when you understand how the business is supposed to be and what the job of a notary is and what your role in doing stuff is, then you have a better opportunity to say, you know what, that's beneficial for me. When you understand business, what being a business owner is about, you are able to say, you know what, that's beneficial, that's not. Now, most people, and if you understand business, put a 3 in the chat. If you don't understand what being a business owner is, put a 4. And it's no shame on whether you do or not. Okay, nobody's judging you here. Here's the thing. Most people think being a business owner is all about profit. That's a part of it. And I did a video not too long ago talking about being profitable. But in being a business owner, in order to get to being profitable, you got to be disciplined and you got to have the right knowledge about your business so you can be profitable and then provide the proper service for the people who want it so that they can feel as though they're getting their money's worth. If what you're doing doesn't make them feel as if they're gaining anything or that what you're offering them is worth anything, you might have been profitable at that moment of charging them $400 for something, but if they didn't feel they got their money's worth, if they felt that it was a shoddy quality, whatever it is you're selling, they're not coming back to you. They're just going to walk away. They're going to, yeah, okay, I wasted my money with this person, and they're never coming back. So therefore, your business starts dying off. And this is the part that a lot of individuals who are in this business don't understand. So therefore, it's like, well, would you do this? It doesn't matter what I would do because I wasn't the one presented with the opportunity. If I was presented with the opportunity, the first thing I'm doing is, okay, can I do this? What do I have going on? So if you ask me, hey, would you take this order? My question is, well, first of all, I'm thinking you probably been presented with it and you're concerned about whether you should do it or not. My first question is always, what's your concern? And many guys get mad at me like, well, come on, man, why don't you just give me a straight answer? That is the straightest answer. It's not even about me answering because it doesn't matter whether I say I would or wouldn't. If you're presented with something, it's the question. The question is, will you? And if you would, just be happy with it. If you won't take it, then just be happy that you did and be justified. And I've said this many times. If I don't take an order, I have a legitimate reason for myself why I didn't take it. It's that simple. Case in point, there's an order that was given out. It's in Windsor, Virginia. It's about an hour away for $65 reverse mortgage application. I know those could take a little bit of time. And because I have a 3 o'clock appointment and I know the distance, there was no way logistically I could go to Windsor, be there at 1. There's a chance that it's going to take longer than an hour and then get to where I need to be by 3 o'clock. I know that. I already know that. So I was like, there's no need for me to even mess with that. Let me just let it go. Last night, there was a run that I did early in the day. Come to find out there was some errors on it that I had made. I didn't realize there was some dates that I had wrong on there. An order came in for 65 to do a reverse mortgage. I mean, to do a refi. I was like, nah, I can't do it because I wouldn't have time to get in to redo the run and then do that. So I let it go. And they turned around. It was for 95. Then they came back out and put it out for 125. It wasn't that far from me, but logistically, I couldn't do it. And that's the thing that I'm trying to get y'all to understand. It's not about always the distance and the dollar. It's about how does it fit into my schedule? Because when you're doing this full time, and if you understand where I'm going with this, y'all, type of Y in the chat. And if you don't understand, type of N in there and I'll try to make it more clear. But if you think about it, when you're doing stuff full time and even part time, the question is, how does it fit in? I already got my schedule made. Now you want me to do this. I can or either I can't. It's not always about the profit and loss. It really isn't. It's how does this fit into my day-to-day operations? Because y'all saw I did a month ago, I did 9 closings in one day. But then there's other times where I could only do 3. Because logistically, I got other things that I got to do, and I can't do these other things if I'm trying to do those closings. And then there's times where, I'm already be over there, so I'll take on something else because I know the company is going to get me the documents ahead of time. So it's like I'm already going to be over there, so I'll take this order. It might be less, but I'll take the order anyway because I'm already going to be over there, or on my way back from there, I can go ahead on and knock it out. So it's all about the logistics of it. The problem is that a lot of notary trainers don't talk about that. They just talk about make the money. And if you look at everything as making the money, this is why you have notaries who they'll get an order for 95. And then the moment another order comes in for the same time period for 125, they'll take the 125 and then cancel on the 95, even if it's last minute. I'm talking about they're on their way to the $95 order, they got the documents on their way to the order, and they'll turn around and cancel that order or just not show up because they want to do that 125. They literally will go do the 125 instead of the 95. That's not good character because you're chasing the money. See, that kind of stuff. And if you've heard people talk like that, which I know y'all have in those Facebook groups, that's what you call chasing the money. What I'm doing is chasing a good reputation. So if I can do it, cool. Matter of fact, today I had to let an order go. I didn't want to, but it ended up me letting it go because logistically I couldn't do it. It rained a couple of days ago. I was behind. I was 2 days behind on my house inspections. So I was like, I got to get them done Saturday so that way I can also get paid for them this month. So I was like, okay, let me go ahead on and knock those out. And I asked her, hey, where are the documents for this order that I got today? I had a house inspection in the morning, then a closing at 11:30, then something at 1. So I was like, okay, where's the documents at? They was like, oh, well, there's no originals. So when they said there's no originals, I was like, okay, well, there's nothing for me to print. I said, okay, understand there's no documents, or the customer's going to have the documents or something to that, and no one told me no. Well, I'm out doing my house inspection, then on my way to my appointment, and then I get a notification, oh, we got documents ready for this. And I'm like, documents? I said, I asked about that and y'all told me no. I said, I've already left the house and I'm not planning on going back because I got 7 appointments I got to knock out today. And I don't have the bandwidth to go back home and print and all of that. So I know they were upset with me, but they had to take it off because logistically I couldn't get it done. Now, I knew with my schedule, I could be done between 4:30 and 5 o'clock. And I was done by 4:30. And I had told them, I said, I can get with them this afternoon after 5 o'clock. They took me off the order. So the point that I'm making, when you're asking whether somebody would do something, it's really irrelevant because what you're doing is this here. You're comparing what you're doing to what they're doing to what you're doing. And we're in the same business for us being a notary, but we're in different areas. So comparison is the thief of joy. It says here, what's going on, man? Yeah, we got rid of Saturday. I was trying to get me a donut. I didn't get a chance to. It says so much wisdom and common sense from your videos. Thanks for all you do for us. You're welcome. I'm just trying to do the best I can to address stuff that is on people's heart. And it's not my intent to make anybody feel bad. And I know most people like, well, I'm asking a question, just give me an answer. And for me, some of the questions that come, there is no straight answer because when I'm asked a question, the first thing I'm asking is, what's behind the question? So you want to know what somebody else is doing and whether they would do it. If I said yes, would you do it? If I said no, would you not do it? Even though you might think that it's beneficial for you and you see it. And see, this is what you got to understand. And this is what I learned a long time ago in my 20s. I'm 56 now. When I try to base everything that I do to be successful off of what somebody else would do, even though they may be my mentor, it can slow me up or it can propel me too fast and I might not be able to handle it. So, and personally, I've never asked a person, hey, would you do this in your business to make money? The way I dealt with it is, let me learn what this business is about. Let me get a better understanding of it. Let me make sure I understand who I am as a business person and then go from there. And then let me be happy with the results that I get. I learned that early on about business because based off of who you are as a person determines your risk tolerance. And I got videos out there about that. There's a video I got out there about what's your risk tolerance. So if your risk tolerance is low, and then the people who you're listening to are telling you to do things that are risky, you probably won't do it. And you learn that from when you start studying investing. When you look at it, that's why I don't mess with Forex. I looked into it. Forex is too risky, and I'm not at that level where I would take that kind of risk. Just like options is very risky. I'm not at that level to where I would want to take that level of risk. Now I bought some silver. That's my level of risk. Okay. You see what I'm saying? So you have to figure out where's your level of risk at. So when you ask another person, you're basically asking them, is this your risk level? Would you risk going and doing this type of order? Would you risk doing an order that only paid this much? Would you risk working with a signing company instead of working direct? That's essentially, in my opinion, what you're asking. And it doesn't really matter because you're the one that got to take the risk. My risk, unless we're partners in something, if we're partners in this and business partners, then yeah, I get it. But at some point in time, you got to ask yourself, am I willing to do this? Will I do this? And if the answer is yes, then cool. Now, for those who just rolled up in here, let me play this again for y'all. This clip about getting got, so you can understand what I mean by that, okay? Because some people don't understand that. And turn your volume up.
I keep trying to tell you and that judge that I do not get angry. If somebody do something to me, I do something to them. This is common sense.
So you believe in getting even?
Hell to the yeah.
Why do you feel the need that you got to get somebody all the time? It's like, get them, get them, get them. You don't think that's angry?
If they got me, I got to get them. Yeah, that's what it is.
But what you call getting got is a whole lot different than what other people call getting got. It doesn't take much to get you, does it?
Well, when you getting got and somebody done got you and you go get them, when you get them, everybody's going to get got.
Yeah, but if you're getting somebody that you say got you when they didn't get you to begin with, then you're getting the gotters when they didn't do anything to you.
Yeah, but if the gotters get me, I'm going to get my Glock.
Yeah, well, but you don't get the Glock when you hadn't been got.
So what I'm trying to explain to you is I don't care who done got me. I'm going to get them first. You get me, I'm going to get you.
Why is it so important?
Okay. I'm tired of you asking me all these questions because I didn't sign up for this. This is the judge that told me to come here, okay? Everybody wants to get even. Everybody wants to get even.
And that's what you don't want to get into, because now here's the thing. The other side of it is, if you do get got, if you do get taken advantage of, you got to address it. You got to deal with the person who got you. What tends to happen is, and this is where I believe that's going wrong in the notary business, there are people who have done things, who have taken training, who have been mentored by people and gotten taken advantage of. So instead of them addressing it and dealing with that person and getting the proper recompense from them who did them wrong, they then turn around and do others that way. Do y'all agree with that? Agree or disagree? I don't know. That's what I've seen. A lot of the people who are doing people wrong were done wrong, because as the saying goes, hurt people hurt people. Because if you was done right and you weren't hurt, then how can you turn around and do somebody else wrong? And for some people, they might not have been done wrong by another notary. They could have been done wrong in another business, but then they come into our business and they do us wrong. And what allows it to permeate more and more is when you don't address it. When people don't want to deal with it, when people don't want to call that individual out if they're getting too deep into messing you over, it's like, okay, look, okay, we need to stop this. Now, granted, there's people out there who say, oh, yeah. Oh, they did me good. Okay, they did you good. But see, you don't want to accept. That's a good one there. Think about it. You're trying to compare how well I do my business and what I would do and whether you should do it. But then when you see somebody else you say, oh, I was done good by them. You're like, well, I wasn't. We got to deal with stuff. And this is what I've been telling y'all. I'm trying to stay calm. I'm trying to stay calm. I find it amazing. I didn't even go there. But y'all get what I'm saying. Y'all know where I'm leading to. Here's the deal. And I'm trying not to go on my rants and all that kind of stuff. I'm trying to be good and just, the bottom line is this. this is a very easy business. And I know many of you saw the hype of the various big boy trainers and big girl trainers out there, and you bought into it. And now you can't communicate with them. They're not even picking the phone up. They're not talking to you. So you're reaching out to whoever you can to find out whether or not it's viable, whether or not taking an order of this dollar amount or this distance or a combination of the two is worth your time and effort, because you've already been screwed over. You feel that you've been screwed over with the junk training, with the junk mentor program, with the junk extra programs, with the junk Facebook groups, with the junk meetups and the junk conferences. So you done been through all of that, and now you finally start getting orders. You finally start getting notifications. You finally start getting selected, and somebody says, "Here's an order, and I want you to do this." And you're like, after all 6 of these here, where I don't put all this money out, you only want to pay me $85. Is it worth me doing this order for $85 when I've already spent this much? So then I get the phone call, I get the text message, I get the emails, I get the DMs. Griff, would you do this order? And I look at it. The question is, why won't you? Because if it was offered to you, the question now is, why won't you do it? What makes this a order that you wouldn't do? And this is just basic business, in my opinion. Because whether I was around or not for you to talk to, you still got that decision to make. The decision to take that order should never rest on whether I would or anybody else would. It solely rests on whether you see the benefit in it. Now, if you do see the benefit in it, as long as you can articulate it to yourself, you're good. If you don't see the benefit in it, as long as you can articulate it to yourself and those who are depending on you to make this money, you're good. It's all about how you view it. And then the question then becomes, after seeing so many of these orders of this dollar amount, and you're passing them by and you're not making any money from any other dollar amount, now the question is, okay, when are you going to start making money? You got to start somewhere. And if you're not willing to start somewhere, then I don't know where you plan on trying to go to. You can't be sitting up here confessing and jumping in church and anywhere else, talking about you're going to be a millionaire, talking about you're going to have all this, that, and the other, when you won't even start. So whether I would take an order or not is irrelevant, because there's factors that I look at as to whether I would or wouldn't. The question is, what is slowing you down? What is holding you up from taking an order? That's the question. You see what I'm saying? So until you can answer that for yourself, that's not a question that you should be seeking the answer from someone else. And the only reason why, in my opinion, and correct me if I'm wrong, why you're asking somebody is because you really don't understand the business. You don't understand what this business is really about and how things work. You don't understand the pricing. Now, can you ask somebody, how would you price something? Yeah. But when you get the opportunity, and see, this is the part where people miss it at. From the day you come in to the day you get that first order, you need to be trying to learn as much as you can about the business, instead of just watching people, whether it's me or anybody else on YouTube, especially people complaining about the business. And a lot of y'all look at these other notaries who are just whining and complaining about the business, but they're not depending on their business to bring them any substantial amount of money to take care of their family. Most of them are just complaining because they just want to complain and they just want your views, and they want you to get on there and they go, yeah, and now they're making some money off of YouTube, and then they got a course to sell you. You see what I'm saying? And you're falling for the game where you need to be learning the business independent of what they're talking about. Because if they're not trying to teach you getting your mind right, getting your spirit right, getting the systems together and all of that, all the stuff that I have on this channel here, all those different videos about that, how to prep the documents, how to go through the closings, all of that stuff that I put on here. That's the stuff that you need to be looking at and getting yourself wrapped around. You can sit here and pay somebody, let me do a mock signing with you. And then all they do is just show you 2 or 3 documents, and then you still unprepared. You see what I'm saying? You're still not ready to get to where you need to be. So then you're like, I done got, now I'm trying to get somebody else. And then you start trying to get over and trying to gain, oh, I gotta get my money back. You start getting your money back when you take work, when you do something for somebody to pay you a fair wage, or a fair, well, in this case, a fair fee for your effort, or the effort that they're looking for you to put in there, which goes into why I keep telling you, don't go overboard in trying to do the loan closings. They're paying you 85 so you can get the job done, which you get signatures and stamps and all of that. Do that. Well, I want to do this. Well, all that extra that you're doing, it's not going to garner you any additional money. So what this business is all about. So let's get to that real quick. Being a notary is about verifying somebody's identity. Do you have a handle on that? Then after you verify their identity, you watch them sign the documents. Then you notarize the signature on the document. Do you understand how to do a proper notarization in accordance with your state law? If you do, then you're in business. But what about if they ask me a question? If they ask you a question, you defer it to the people who put the documents together. Most of the people that the state law tells you, don't answer any questions about that unless you have the proper training. And taking so-and-so's and so-and-so's course is not giving you the necessary credentials to do that, because their course isn't recognized by your state. So your state has not said, oh, you take so-and-so's course. Yep, that gives you permission to practice law. That gives you permission to say something about that. Because that person is not in your state, more than likely, and they're not even going to, so they can't teach you about what you should say in accordance with your state law about real estate transactions. Even the people who I know that do state mandate or state training, they don't teach that kind of stuff in the state approved. So in the state approved training, they're not teaching you to do any of the stuff that these other people are telling you. So somebody from California, Texas, New York, Chicago, Florida, or wherever is telling you to say something about documents in your state that violates your state law. That's where you're confused at. That's why you're trying to figure out, should I, because you don't know. That's what this business is about for us, being a notary. The real estate is somebody wants to buy a house. The lender shows them, gets them pre-qualified. The title company puts the documents together. If there's a signing company involved, they connect the notary and a title company together. And then all they need us to do is to take the documents to said person or persons and have them sign, date, initial where applicable, and then we do the notarization. All of this crap about, oh, you got to present. The only presenting is, here's the document. There's the title of it. Please sign, please date, initial if applicable, then you do your part. Well, what if they don't understand it? Then they need to talk to the person who put the document together, because they are going into an agreement, a legal agreement with the person who put the document together. The loan officer put the document together along with the title company to say, you're going to into this agreement to borrow X amount of dollars for this here property. Well, I don't understand this. Then you need to talk to the person who put the document together. The notary is not there to make sure that that person understands what and why they're signing. And I challenge anybody to correct me on that. For 3 years, I've been saying this, and no one has come out and said, oh, Griff, here's where you're wrong at. According with my state law, you can do that. Show me. Show us. When you get past all of that BS that they're putting out here, and you really understand this business, and you understand that the level of effort that you really have to put out here to do this is not nowhere near on the level that people have told you and sold to you to, you'll be like, okay, yeah, 85 is good. Because if you do it at the bare minimum, stop worrying about having logos on your shirts, stop worrying about having cups and all this kind of stuff, stop worrying about logos on your pens and all that kind of stuff, stop worrying about logos on your daggone mask and all of that. I don't have any logos, these kind of I just go in and get the job done. Do I have a business card? Yes. A digital one now, as well as a regular one. That's all you need. Get in, get out, and keep going. But you are looking at this wrong, and now you're going around trying to find somebody to make you feel confident or justified in either taking or not taking an order. And you're getting confused. Do y'all understand what I'm saying? Does anybody not understand where I'm going with this and what I'm saying? The bottom line for me is this. I'm not going to be bugging somebody, asking them, hey, you're over here in Missouri, I'm over here in Virginia. So would you take this order? I don't know what their logistics are. I don't know where they have to travel. I don't know where they live. You see what I'm saying? There's all these factors. They might be in a rural area. I might not be in a rural area. They might have public transit they have to take. You see what I'm saying? They might have kids. They might be doing it part-time. I'm doing it full-time, vice versa. And I'm trying to make a determination of whether I'm going to make money off of what somebody else is doing way over yonder. And all of that comes from these suckers putting all these little TV commercials and stuff on YouTube, bragging about how much money all these people make. And then you bought into it saying, that could be me. And the only reason why they're doing that, so you can buy their course, because that gives you the hope that that could be you. And then you go take their course and you find out that it's crap. And then you wind up not doing anything. Because in your heart of hearts, you know you're not prepared. In your heart of hearts, you know that what they just told you don't even apply to your state when you start reading your state law and understand what your state says you can and can't do. And you're like, I just wasted money over here. Now I got to try to find a way to get straight. And my thing is this. If you ain't asking the person who you spent $400-500 for whether or not they would take the order, I'm not being mean when I say this. I'm just being honest. Don't ask me. If you pay somebody else for training and they told you what to do, you either gonna do it or not. I'm letting you know right now. I leave the house for $60. I've done 20. I've done 80. I've done all that. I go out here and work because I do this full time. So I don't have time to pontificate whether or not driving an hour is good, because I already know for next week whether or not me taking an order that's going to be an hour away is going to be beneficial for me. That's where my mind is at. I already know what my friend said. If I think in California says clause doesn't address speaking about the document because it's not regulated. Right. And if you feel free to do that in your state, go for it. Yeah. It says the law talks about unauthorized practice regarding notarization. Example, is this the right document for ... And notary answers, yeah. So this is where you and me, we have to do ask questions of our state and get clarification. Now, in my state law, it clearly says that we're not to give advice on any document that requires a notarization. We're not to prepare, draft, give advice, or even help a person understand a document that requires notarization unless we've been duly qualified and trained in that area. And I have never taken any kind of real estate mortgage course that prepared me to be able to answer any questions about the title documents or the lender documents. So since I don't have that background, I keep my mouth shut. I'm following state law. That's the truth of the matter. Okay. But what people are doing is they're like, well, I think I need to just go ahead on and just try to, show them that I know what I'm talking about. Over 90% of the people that I talk to that ask me to talk to them about how to present the documents and what to say about the documents, they contact me and say, hey, I don't know what I would say about this document. What do you think I should say? First thing I'm asking you, do you understand notarizations? And over 90%, like, well, not really. Then why are you worrying about saying something about the documents if you don't understand notarizations? You see what I'm saying? That's like a woman being married to a man, and And he comes to her saying, let's have some children. And you looking around like, but we living in your mama house. How you gonna ask me about having children when we're living in your mama house, sleeping on the couch, on the pull-out couch? Matter of fact, she didn't have a pull-out couch. We had to go buy a matter of fact, we couldn't buy it. She had to go buy a pull-out couch for us so we could be like Good Times. And sleeping on the daggone couch in your mama house, and you talking about having kids. You see what I'm saying? So here we are talking about what I'm going to say and how I'm going to address these questions about the document and how I'm going to show everybody how smart I am when you don't even know how to do your job. You said, I ain't knocking it. That's why people need to do their research before buying with their eyes. But don't make money for posting these contents on YouTube, even though you're giving people the heads up. Yeah, yeah. Hey, good evening to you, my man. Good evening to you. Say, I do agree. However, every notary should know their notarial laws if their life depended on. Yeah, as if their life depended on. That is correct, because we're the ones who get pulled into court. So my way of not getting got is let me understand and learn what I'm getting into. And too many of you have gotten into this business off of emotion and off of adrenaline, with either your own emotional adrenaline or the emotional or adrenaline of who you saw on TV, on YouTube. You saw somebody on YouTube, Instagram, TikTok, and you're like, yeah, that could be me. And then when you get into it, you realize that, whoa, there's a whole lot more to this. It ain't popping here like it popped over there. What is going on? What do I do? And now you got to be grown, be an adult, and figure out how to make this business viable for yourself. You have to figure that out. And if you're unwilling to figure that out, then just let it go and count it as a loss of money. Just realize, hey, I just blew $3,000-$4,000. I did not make the best investment. Because the thing is this: are you willing to put in the effort? The work that I did back in 2018, 2019, and the beginning of 2020 has set me up for now. Had I not done the work back then, I wouldn't be set up for now. And I'll be honest, back then I wasn't listening to anything on YouTube. I didn't have time to look at YouTube. And I believe there's a high chance that if I would have listened to the stuff that was out there on YouTube, I could have fell into the same mode of thinking like a lot of people have. And then when it came time for when things get tight like it, I'm not able to make the money because I didn't establish myself. Now, even though like the one company, I feel bad that I couldn't do that closing for them today, but because of the miscommunication about whether there were documents available or not, I was led to believe there were no documents. They was talking about there's nothing to be mailed back. So I was like, okay, cool. I guess they got the documents. Then next thing you know, they saying, oh no, you got to print the documents. Here they are. And I ain't have time to. Hopefully I built up enough reputation, which I believe I have, that they'll give me another shot. Now, if they choose not to, then that's on them. That's on them. Because we got proof that I asked and I was told one thing, and then now y'all got something else going on. And that right there threw a whole monkey wrench in there. But I built a reputation of doing it. Case in point. Now, I got an order to do a run on Friday morning at 10 o'clock. I did that run, and the documents came real late. It came, that was on Friday. Yeah, Friday. I'm sorry. I got the run on Thursday for Friday. It was for Friday, 10 a.m. I don't get the documents until after midnight of Friday. So 12:05. The signing company owners, it took them a while to get the documents from their client. They finally get me the documents. I was tired. I fell asleep sitting here. I mean, I was gone, and fortunately, I heard my phone notification. I got up and I started prepping the documents. Because of how tired I was, I made 2 errors in doing the notarial area, where I spelled the state wrong and the month of March wrong, and I didn't catch it. And then there was something, and there was two other things that I missed in there. So I do the closing, didn't catch them. I reviewed it, still didn't catch the error. Then while I'm out doing a house inspection, I get a notification to do another closing, wrong, for the same person. Cool. I say I'll knock that out. On my way home to do that, get prepared for that, I get a notification that I made a mistake on the first one. I look and I'm like, oh man, I sure enough did, my bad. I get home, I get that together. So they know that if something's wrong, they all they gotta do is tell me. Then with my second run, that one was real discombobulated. Things was a little up in there, and I made some mistakes on that one. But I didn't figure that out until like 8 o'clock at night when I went back and looked at the documents again. I was like, oh man, I did make a mistake. So what did I do? I get the document fixed. I called the customer. I didn't even contact the signing company until afterward. Called the customer, and I told him, I said, hey man, look, there was these errors, these where I made a mistake at. Do you mind hopping on? I already got everything set up. He said, no problem. I said, hit the button. I said, you got a notification. Go ahead on and hop on. We got it done in about 10 minutes. Went through, double, triple, quadruple check. Yep, everything's good this time. Sent the documents to the signing company owner. They were like, hey, thank you very much. Appreciate you doing that, because I already knew it was going to have to get fixed. And the fix that I had to do was at my own expense. I used Doc Verify, so I had to pay. That was out of my pocket, which really wasn't, because I already had the ID credits and all that stuff. So it really didn't cost me that much money to do, but it took me, I had to take time to do it. The bottom line is this: they know that I would do that. They know this, and I built that reputation, whether it's face to face or whatever, or online. I will get it done. If I can do the job, I'm going to do that. The question is, are you that kind of business owner? Are you that kind of notary? I misspelled it because, well, what people don't know about me, I can type pretty fast. I can type 45, 50 words a minute. And when I typed into March, I typed it like that. I just put it in the chat. I just composed, the C and all of that. And then when I did Virginia, I did it like this with an extra I, and I didn't catch it. Just simple mistake. But I can type. I've been, typing since I was in high school. Work I did in the military, I was typing. So I can type 45, 50 words a minute, even at 56 years old. I like typing. That's the thing about me. I like typing. I don't know why, but I like typing. So I can really sit here, and if I'm focused, I don't make those mistakes. I don't make those mistakes. And the only reason why I made a mistake on the second one was because when I grabbed my notarial certificate, I already had the date in there. Like this one has, where is it? Right there, it has 2024. The one that I grabbed had 2023, and I didn't catch it. So again, being tired, this, that, and the other, look, mistakes happen, but are you willing to fix it? And can you get over the psychological beating up of yourself to do it? So that's the question. And when you're not confident in your ability to do something, you start questioning and asking everybody else, would you do it? Would you do it? Can you do it? How do you feel about doing it? Do you think it's worth it? I don't know if that's worth it. I mean, for me, it's not worth it. Okay, then good. If you already know something's not worth it for you, there's no need to bring anybody else in there, because what you're trying to do, in my opinion, is bring somebody in to justify you feeling that it's not worth it. I don't know, girl, would you marry a guy who just got out of jail and lived with his mama's boyfriend's mother? You know what I'm saying? Would you? I ain't got no other place to stay. Then go do it. You get what I'm saying? It's like you're asking somebody, would they do something, and they're not in that situation. And you already got your mind made up. I don't know, man. I mean, she got like 3 baby daddies, and you think I should date her? I don't know. Well, would you date her? I mean, I guess if she the last woman kicking it around here, how involved are her baby daddies? Does her kids like her baby daddies? You get what I'm saying? I don't know. You get what I'm saying? We have to be mindful of that because we could ask somebody something, and I've been told that people have told notary stuff, and then the notary found out later that that person didn't even know what they was talking about. But when they found the right answer was when they went and did the research themselves. They went and looked and said, "Oh, let me go look it up." Case in point, a lot of people over the years have called and asked me, "Hey, what does e-sign mean?" I asked them simply, I said, hold on. Yeah. Let me show you how simple this is. I just typed in there, what does e-sign mean? That's how easy it is to get the answer for yourself sometime. What is e-signature? E-sign, electronic signing, electronic signature. What is meant by e-signature? You see what I'm saying? This is when knowledge is power. Just like somebody had asked me, a hybrid, a hybrid closing. What does hybrid closing mean? Hybrid closing involves someone's signing some documents digitally while others are physically signed. You see what I'm saying? It's not that I don't want people to contact me or talk to me, but what I don't want is you to be is that I don't want to be the source of your success or failure in this business. You need to be your own source of failure because I already know that if you feel that I'm the failure point, in other words, if I tell you, ask me, well, should I do this business? Should I do this or that or anything? And I say, well, yeah, I would. And then you go do it, but your heart's not in it. Well, I only did it because Griff said so. And like I keep telling y'all, we don't know each other like that. You know me here, I know you from your comments, but we don't know each other to that level that I'm like, okay, I could give you some real advice, and then I know that you're not going to throw it up in my face. Or if I give you some real advice, you'll take the time out and research it to verify whether or not it's applicable to you. What most people are doing is they're asking for advice and then they just go do it and they never find out whether it was for them. And then when they go execute it, they realize that it wasn't for them. And then they blame the person who told them to do it. But you asked for that information. So they gave you what you asked for. You asked, should I do this? Yeah. And then you do it and it blows up. Man, why you tell me to do that? Well, you asked. I mean, I just told you what I would do. But man, I wasn't ready for that. Get what I'm saying? And there are people that's out here that are lazy. But this is how easy it is to figure this stuff out. This isn't the day where you have to run. Yeah, you ain't even got to run to the library. This is how easy it is to find out. Because I've had people over the last couple of years ask me, what is a hybrid closing? And I asked a simple question. Did you look it up? No, I just figured I'd ask you. And I'm like, okay, you want me to tell you something. So which means is I can lie and tell you anything and you would just believe it. But I'm not that kind of person. I wouldn't do that. Wow. Oh, take a look at this, y'all. So there was a link there. And wow, look at here. Look at this information here. It's traditional, hybrid, in-person notarization, wrong. Tells you what a hybrid is, in-person, all of that. The NNA has the same information. How does a digital signing work? All of this here. Think about it. Had a person just done a little research, what's a do using? Okay. The bottom line. The point that I'm making is that this is how easy it is for you to gain knowledge so you can have more comfortability about doing anything. If you're sitting around like, man, I got this order and it said e-docs. I've told y'all many times, e-docs simply means electronic documents. Well, what does that mean? Look it up. Well, I'm asking you. Okay, give me $50. This is how people get taken advantage. This is how you get got. Because then if you give me $50 and then I tell you, well, okay, e-docs means electronic document, and they're going to put it in the portal and then you download that electronic document. Oh, that's it? Yeah. And you know you can't get your $50 back. I mean, this is what's going on. This is what's going on. And I don't understand when y'all going to stop putting yourself in this position, because it's simple to get out of it by just doing some search. You figure, look, you sat there and figured out how you can get a daggone 2-week cruise to the Bahamas for under $1,000. You went and did that research. You went and found out whether or not the guy or the girl you dating even got a job or got a felony and all of that kind of stuff. Why you can't figure out what e-doc stand for, what e-sign stand for, what e-signature? What does RON stand for? Look it up. This is what you have to do as a business owner. Being a business owner don't mean you run around. Even in your W-2, in your job, you go and you research, because I ain't gonna take their word for it. They might be lying to me. That's what we say in our job. We say they could be lying to me in my job. How do I go about doing this? You know what? I'm gonna figure it out. You might ask them, but you go verify it. So what did you say? And then you're like, nah. They were lying. Nah. Or you find out, well, that's the old way of doing it. Now you found out there's a new way of doing it. But nonetheless, you just don't take people's word for it at your job. And in your business, it falls in the same category. Don't just take somebody's word that, oh, this is how you make money in this business. Okay. Is what you're telling me applicable where I'm at? I don't know. I'm just telling you what I do. Let me figure out what happens over here. Does this work in my state? Am I allowed to do this? Either yes or no. If I am, cool. If I'm not, then I need to figure out how to make money. And this is the lazy part that we have in us, because we've been so W-2-ish for so long that we don't know how, and we're not willing to put forth that little extra effort for our own business. We'll do it for our job because we clearly see a benefit coming from putting the extra effort in our job, which is at the end of the year when we do our SMART goals, we lay out what we did all year long so we can get a 0.00.00.005% pay raise. But for your business, you don't see an immediate increase in revenue by taking time out to go search what e-docs mean. You don't see how that's going to benefit you. You feel that that's costing you time and money because you had to go do it yourself. And then the other part of what I'm finding out is that people have a lack of confidence in the information that they've found. So they find information that answers their question. They find it on their own, but they have no confidence in it. And if you have no confidence in the information that you've acquired, you're in trouble. You have no confidence. So you go and you research, oh, what is it? What does e-sign mean? What does hybrid mean? It tells you what it means. What does a hybrid closing mean? And that's why I put closing. What does a hybrid mortgage closing mean? Be real specific. Oh, that's what it says? Hey, Griff. Yeah, what's up? What does hybrid closing mean? Did you research? Well, yeah, I looked it up and it said this, that, and the other. So why don't you believe that? Well, I just wanted to make sure. What in what you read is making you doubt that that is the case? And why would me saying it is the case be the proper validation for that information? I'm just sharing this with y'all. This is how my mind works. Because if you went and did the research and it tells you this is what it is, I'm like, why does me or anybody else have to be the validator of the information that you found? What makes that information invalid? That's like you You out, you dating somebody, you go to the club and you see, and they told you they was out of town, and then you see them in the, hold up, is that my girl pushed up on Raekwon? Your eyes see her pushed up on Raekwon. That should tell you something. You don't need anybody to validate that. That's your girl. She pushed up on him. That's your dude. He pushed up on her. You get what I'm saying? It's clear. That's a text message from some woman. That's a text message for some dude. Your eyes see it. You don't need, the only person you need to do is talk to the person at the source. Your Earl. You go there, Earl. Who is this? You ain't got to go to anybody else. You go to, that's the point that I'm trying to make. And I need y'all to start developing confidence in your own research in this business. If you're never going to gain confidence in this business, then you need to stop doing it, because you're not going to be able to, you're never going to feel comfortable, because even if I told you, yes, that's what it is, then you still might doubt. And what's her name? Judi Lawrence, the Queen of Apostille, said the same thing. She said there are people who will contact her, ask her questions about something. She'll give them the answer, chapter and verse and everything. And then she'll go into a Facebook group and see that same person asking the same question. You came to her, who knows Apostille, you asked her about it, she gave you the answer, and then you turned around and went and asked somebody else the same question after you just got off the phone with her. This is why a lot of trainers don't want to answer y'all questions and talk to y'all, because they feel that you don't believe them when they give you the answer. So after a while, they just ghost you. They be like, you know what, I ain't talking to y'all. And all the thing I do is I just flip it back on you. I'm like, okay, why? Did you do the research? Huh? Here's a video that I got. Well, I mean, I saw the video, but I can't remember what you said in that video. Did you? Yeah, I watched the video, but I can't remember. Okay, watch it again. I don't want to do that. Can you just tell me? It's time for you to learn. See, I know a lot of y'all look at my videos, but you're not listening to what I'm saying in them. Get the distractions out your way. Stop braiding your kids' hair. Stop cooking dinner. Do it when you're not having to cook dinner, and sit down and just listen. And I guarantee you the answer that you're looking for will be in those videos. And I know it because many people contact me and tell me, oh man, I listened to this video. Yeah, I got it. It took me 3 times, but then it clicked and I see what you're saying. And stop comparing yourself to other people. Don't compare yourself to me. Don't compare yourself to Caprentice or Oswald, the Notary Giant, or anybody else. Be happy with you being you. If all you can make is $500 a week right now, be happy with that. If all you can make is $1,000 a week, be happy with that. That's all you need to do. And when you, because you look, y'all know this with, and I talk about relationships all the time. When it comes to marital relationships, a dating relationship, when you start having, when your man starts, as women, you know this is true. Okay, when your man starts trying to get you to trying to compare you to what some other woman is doing for her husband, that's a problem. When the woman is trying to compare what that man is doing to what other guy, that becomes a problem. Y'all never learn each other and who y'all are and how y'all can mesh together. It's you're not being like him. You're not being like her. You don't even compare your kids. That's why, as Teddy Roosevelt said, comparison is the thief of joy. As parents, we must believe him and keep this quote in the forefront of our hearts and minds as we parent multiple children, 7, this, that, and the other. You do not want to be sitting here trying to compare. Me and my wife, we don't compare our sons to one another, because if you try to compare that, you get sad because this kid is this way, that kid is that. Understand who your children are as kids and then as adults, and you work with them where they're at. And that's what me and my wife had to learn a long time ago, is that my oldest is this way, my youngest is this way, and work with them where they're at to make them better in who they actually are. But you're sitting here comparing yourself to all of these people that keep getting thrown out there to you. And to me, it's smart because they're making you feel depressed about where you're at. And that's the number one game of a scammer, to make you feel bad about where you're at so you can come to them and feel better about where you could be. There's no chance that you're going to get there. There's no guarantee you're going to get to where you're supposed to be happy, but you're on the path that they placed you on, so you're no longer feeling bad about where you're at, and you're operating off of hope. Oh, I hope one day I can be on stage with them. I hope one day I can be in a video with them. There are notaries right now that talk about, I'm trying to run this because I want them to do an interview with me. And it's all about self-gratification, self-bragging, and all this, that, and the other, which is a whole nother little character flaw. That's a whole nother character flaw in and of itself. But that comparison thing, they setting y'all up for the okie doke. Don't you want to make money like them? Maybe the making money like them will pull me further away from who I want to be. Making money the way I need it, the way I want to be, do it is good. Girl, your man need to be like this. Well, the way my man is perfect for me. The way my woman is perfect for me. Again, I'm just trying to get y'all to be happy with yourself. Do I realize that I probably could be making more money if I did certain things? Yes, but I'm happy with the money that I've been blessed to make thus far. And I don't get upset with anybody who makes more than me because they did whatever they felt was necessary to get to where they're at. The question is, do I want to do the same? And it's either yes or no. And then let's just say it is yes, I want to do what they're doing. The question is, can I even do it? Can I put it into my life? Is it something that I'm able to do? Do I have the bandwidth to do it? It's either yes or no. So if I don't have the bandwidth to add these other things into my life, all of these multiple streams of income and all this kind of stuff, then how can I feel bad that I'm not making that kind of money doing those things when I know legitimately I'm not in a position to do it? And this is where you have to learn to be honest with yourself and stop lying to yourself and stop believing this crap out here that they're selling to you. And I don't know when y'all going to understand this, and I don't know when you're going to grow up and stop being what. I don't know when y'all going to grow up and stop being fools thinking that, because that person who I don't know said it, I'm going to just do it. Yeah, okay, yeah. And you know doggone well what they asking you to do, doggone well what they say you should be doing ain't legal, it ain't you. And whatever you do in this life should be legal and it should be who you are. And if it's not those two things, you shouldn't be doing it. And if you're doing it, you're being illegal and you're lying to yourself. You're not being true to yourself. So when are you going to be true to yourself? When you going to grow up? When you going to be an example to your wife, example to your husband? When you going to be an example to your kids of how to be firm in who you are and go for what you need to go for, irregardless what the heck else is going on out here? When you going to do that? Stop calling people, asking them about what they going to do, what you going to do. Because it's holding you up. It's stopping you from progressing to where you need to be. If you don't want to take an order for whatever reason, don't take it. If you want to do something, take it. This is how you learn. But the problem is you're too scared to fail. You are too afraid to fail. You're too afraid that if I do this, it's not going to work. And you're worried about being embarrassed because you've already bought in to some of this rhetoric out here. You've already confessed to people what you're going to be doing and how much money you're going to be making, what you will do and won't do. And then the opportunities don't present themselves and you see you got to take an $80-some order. So now the question is, are you going to be mature enough to just deal with the fact that I can't get the 125 or the 125s aren't in my area, but heck, I can make a lot of money from 85. In other words, like they say back in the day, your little Chihuahua, your German Shepherd mouth got your little Chihuahua butt in some trouble. So you went barking all, "Rah!" But you act really, you're just a little Chihuahua, but you barking like a German Shepherd, but your little Chihuahua behind them got in trouble because you done said things that, oh yeah, I'm gonna do this in this business, I'm gonna do that. And then reality is you got to work a heck of a lot harder than you ever thought. Let's just be real. Most people have called me and told me, Griff, I don't know how you do it, but I ain't trying to do no 70 closings a month. I ain't trying to do that much work. Okay. That's all okay. But you want me to say I'm gonna stop? Would you ever get tired of making money? No. Of working out here and taking care of my family? No. So why are you saying it to me like, well, I wouldn't do all that. Okay, then don't. And you won't. That's on you. Don't try to get me to give in. And I know what it is. People think I'm lying. People think that I really don't want to do what I'm doing. So it's like, well, Griff, do you really want to do 70? I want to take care of my family. And if it means doing 70, I'm going to do 70. If it means I can do it in 40, I would do 40. I can't see myself doing it. And I know you can't, and you never will. I see myself. If you follow me on this channel, you know I told y'all I based the amount of money that I needed to make off of 70 closings a month. That's what I'm doing. So I'm being true to myself. Are you going to be true to yourself? Give me your thoughts. Ask any questions, y'all. I know I've been running my mouth here. Any questions, if you don't understand something and want me to expound on something I'm saying, whether you agree or disagree, that's up to you, because guess what? Even if you do disagree, unless you can articulate to me why I should agree with your disagreement, I got to do what I feel is best for me. And if you disagree just from the standpoint of, hey, that's just not me, I get it. And I respect that. I truly do. If you're saying that I shouldn't do what I'm doing, which people have called me and told me I shouldn't do, then give me a reason why. Because if you tell me not to do it because you wouldn't do it, then where do I get the money from to take care of my family? Well, you can do this. I don't want to do that. Well, you can do more apostille. Okay, yeah, I could, but I'm not really jiving with that. Well, you could do more general notary work. Yeah, I like doing what I'm doing, so that's what I'm doing. I don't really like loan closing. Bingo. Now you finally being honest. I'm doing this. You don't like doing that. Bingo. There's nothing wrong with that. Nothing wrong with that. You're gonna get there, Mitchell. You're gonna get there. You're gonna get there. And see, me and Caprinas talk, and I learn from him. He learns from me. Iron sharpens iron. We're trying to move forward and see, like, he's at a different place in his business and in his life than I am. So when he provides information to me, I provide information to him. We take it, we analyze it, and we see how it can fit for us. And to be honest, he's never asked me. I don't think he's ever asked me like, "Hey, Griff, would you do this?" If he did, me and him have a relationship to where I could be honest and say, "Okay, well, here's the factors that I go with." And then I know that he's not going to just take what I'm saying blindly, like, okay, I'm gonna just do what Griff said. He'll sit there and be like, okay, let me look. Okay, I got this. Okay. And then he'll do his own analysis of what I'm saying to see whether it will fit for him or if it's even applicable where he's at in California. Most notaries won't do that. Most notaries, okay, if you tell them, yeah, you need to post on Instagram 17 times a day, that's what they're gonna do. Not realizing they really ain't got nothing to say. Oh yeah, you need to have a logo on your shirt. Not realizing nobody cares about the logo when you're doing loan closing. And the signing companies don't care. And the title company you're working direct with don't care about your logo. Do you know the only logo they care about, which I don't have it up here. What the heck is it? The only logo they care about is your notary stamp. Where the heck is my stamp? I put it over. I put it over there. That's the only thing they care about. That stamp. That's the only logo I got. My notary stamp. And most of y'all don't even know how to work that. I never asked because, like you, most of the orders make sense for me. Yeah, see, that's it. The only logo I have now, Q made me a logo, and I keep meaning to do something with it, but I haven't. But the only logo I care about is my notary stamp. That's what they hired me for. I just want to look professional. If this ain't professional, then I might as well get out the business. You know what makes me professional is how organized I am with doing my loan closings. What makes me look professional is if I do make a mistake, I go back and fix it. No questions asked. I can just go and I just go. If I realize I made a mistake, I go and then I own up to it and I say, hey, I did this. I realized I made this mistake. I got it corrected. The documents are being shipped to you. That's why I have my own FedEx account, UPS account for my business. So that way, if I need to ship stuff out, I use it and get a really great discount through FedEx, and I ship the documents out. I do what I got to do. My reputation is what matters. Now, do some of these signing companies like the fact that I stand up for what is right as a notary? No, I can't do this. I can't do that. No, some of them don't like that, and they probably won't use me because of that. But those who understand it, they want a notary who's going to do it right and correct what they mess up. They pick me a lot. That's why I can do 70 closes a month, because they're like, oh man, we know that if Griff got it, we good. If we give it to him, we know he'll take care of it. If we do our part and we get him the documents, he's off and running. He'll take care of it. They know that I'll sit there. If I got to be there for 2 hours, I'll be there for 2 hours. I don't complain about it. I never contacted a signing company. Hey, look, this order took 2 hours. You need to pay me more. Have you ever considered establishing your own notary service so you won't have to turn away? That's a good question. And yes, I have. But the problem is there are too many notaries out here who have taken these other people's trainings, and that's what's prevalent in their mind. They want to do the closings the way that these folk have told them. There's too many notary trainers out there, mentors who have told people, oh, take the orders from a signing company and then go backdoor them and go try to get with the person who hired them so you can be the primary. There's too much of that going on. So I'd rather just not take the order. What's the point of me taking the order and then I got to deal with this notary who's being deceitful and dishonest? Or the notary may not be deceitful or dishonest, but they don't have the stick-to-itiveness of, okay, I'm gonna stay in there. Well, yeah, and not sit here and say, well, Griff, I ended up being there like an hour and a half. Okay, well, sometimes that can happen. Because see, keep in mind now, I operate a particular way. Y'all know how I operate. So I would be expecting you to have that same commitment. And I know most people don't. So, and it's not that you got to be like me, but just be committed to doing things excellent. Be committed to fixing your mistakes. And there are too many examples of notaries out there saying, I'm not going to fix it, or you're not paying me enough, but you made a mistake. I've never asked anybody to pay me for a mistake that I made. Never. But how many times have y'all heard notaries say in these chat rooms and stuff, oh, shoot, you ain't paid me enough to fix mistakes. You get what I'm saying? That's where the problem comes in at. Right. And then you say, I saw the interview with the signing service owner. She said if she calls you about an error, she expects you to drop what you're doing to fix, even if you have another signing. What do you think? Okay. that's an unrealistic expectation. If you have another signing, they're going to have to understand that you're going to get it fixed. See, this is where you have to articulate how you're going to get it fixed. This is where the calm. So let's just say Claude is the person. You say, Griff, you made a mistake and I need you to fix this now. Okay, well, I'm in the process. I'm headed to another signing right now. And I tell myself I'm headed to another signing as soon as I finish that signing. Because first of all, if I still got to go back and get the documents. So I still got to go back and maybe print the documents or whatever. So I have to fix this. I got to do this closing. Then I will get to them right after that. And then here's the other thing. Here's what happened, because I know what you're talking about, not the interview, but here's what I've seen happen. When I first started, something similar came up like that. I can't remember exactly because it was so long ago. But when I called the signers, it was like, oh, we ain't going to be available till this time. Then what? See, that's the other aspect. And when that happened to me, I hadn't even thought about that. I was like, so when they call me and I'm like, okay, well, so now that happens, I'm like, okay, well, I hear what you're saying. I have this here. Well, let me call the signers and find out, are they available, when they're available, because they might not be. So you telling me I better stop and do it now, but we haven't even talked to the signers. Are they available? And in that case, they weren't. They weren't available for like 3 more hours. They was like, no, we got this, that, and the other. Then what? You see what I'm saying? So before we can just drop everything and run to them, we got to think clearly and find out this. Now, if the signing company owner made certain promises to that client, their client, the title company, I get it. But the first thing that needs to happen, in my opinion, is you need to find out whether the signers are available. And after that happened to me, that's how I pretty much address it now. Okay, let me before I can say anything, I'm on my way to a closing. Let me find out from them when they are available, and I'll let you know. And keep in mind this, there are some people, signing companies owners, that don't know how to handle stress, and they don't think clearly when they're under stress. To me, the first thing, if I get a call from the title company, my client, hey, there was this error, we need this signed or stamped or whatever the case may be. Okay, to me, the first thing I should do is contact the client and find out whether they're available before I call, or I ask the notary, hey, can you contact them and find out when they are available? So then I can report back. I will let my client know, okay, they need this done. Has anybody found out whether or not the signers are available? And then here's the other thing. Here's the smart thing to do. Let's just say it's something as simple as fixing a date. There's nothing that needs to be stamped or notarized. Now, here's the common sense part to me. As a signing company owner, there's a document that needs to be just signed and dated. Okay, Fred ain't available for whatever reason. Okay, hey, let me call this other notary that I know I can trust. Here's a document. Go take it to them, have them sign and date it. Or let's just say it's the copy, or whatever. Let's say the notary hasn't dropped the documents on mail. More likely, they probably have. But the bottom line what I'm trying to say is, I know I'm sort of rambling here because you're making me think about different scenarios. Is stay calm and come up with a plan without making it seem like it's the end of the world and you're going to throw somebody in the fire of death and destruction. That's really what I'm trying to get to. And we, as the notaries, got to be thinking clearly. Let me call them and find out what's going on. Let me find out whether they're available or not. That's all. And because even if they wanted you to drop it right then and there, if they're not available, they're not available. So sorry about that rant, but it just made me think about a whole bunch of different scenarios and stuff. Whole grip based on this conversation. I can't wait to hear what you think about the video I sent. Yeah, I meant to look at it, man, and I had to do that daggone That's when that Ron came up. Because when I had told you I was going to look at it, I was on my way home, and that's when the Ron thing came up and all of that. But we just have to think clearly. Just think clearly. Just think logistically. Now, the ultimate goal, Claude, is this. Let me put things in place to where I don't make a mistake. But here's the thing. The mistake could be they could have just came up and said, oh, we forgot to include this document. So it may not be an error that you did. It could be, oh, we forgot to include this signature page, this document that needed to be signed. I've had times where people they literally forgot to include a signature page. And I did, because documents came late, I didn't catch it, didn't have time to prep, and I get there, and then they realize now, and they're like, okay, when can you get back to get them to sign this? Well, based on my schedule, and I know I might get criticized for this, but for the signing company owners that understand what we do, and they understand the type of notary that they're working with, if they understand that you're a high volume notary, then they'll be like, hey, what's your availability to get this done? And I've had something come and say, okay, well, we might have to get another notary just to go get this signed. Okay, I understand. And I tell them, I say, if you need to take money from me to pay them, that's fine with me. Because the goal is to get it done. You see what I'm saying? So there's a lot of variables with that. But that's a good question, Claude. That is a good question. That is a really, really good question. Same thing, Yvette, about having your own service. I don't think I'm at the point where I could put up with a notary not doing their job. When I know what I'm willing to commit to, and again, it's not about comparing them to me for making money. It's, are you committed to doing what you took an oath to do? If you are, then great. If you're not, if you're just in it for the money, then if you make a mistake, you see what I'm saying? And my thing is, first thing I'm gonna do if I'm running a signing company, I'm gonna make sure you understand how to notarize. I don't care what state you're in. And a lot of signing company owners are like, and trainers especially, like, nah, no, I'm gonna make sure you know. That's the first thing you gotta do. You gotta prove to me that you know how to notarize something. And if you don't know how to fill out the notarial certificate in accordance with your state law, then there's no need for me to ever send you out. I'm not doing that because you ain't gonna do the job right. And I already don't care about me. I'm not pushing you to explain a single document. Just make sure that this, you do your thing. You see what I'm saying? So those two good questions. Real two good questions. Anything else? Anything else from anybody? Any other questions? Any other concerns? How long have you been providing Ron service, and how long did it take you to be comfortable with it? Ron services since 2019. It took me probably 2 years to get comfortable with it, and primarily because it's not a whole lot that comes in. I'm serious. It's not a whole lot that really comes in for Ron. Everybody's bragging about all this Ron stuff. Okay, don't nobody leaves. I gotta share something about Ron. Okay, and I know it's gonna probably tick people off, but I gotta say this. Okay, let me finish answer your question. Been doing it since 2019. It took me about 2 years to get comfortable with it and realizing the mistakes that I was making and all of that, and developing a system of being able to pay attention to detail and realizing the limitations of Doc Verify. Okay, now, as I shared earlier, I had 2 Rons yesterday on Friday, the 29th. And on both of them, there were some mistakes that I made. Here's the reason why I like using Doc Verify. With a lot of the other platforms, you have to pay every single time you do a notarial stamp. They charge you for each time unless you pay them some high fee. I made the mistake, did my stamp, and I think each one, let's just say the one that I made a mistake on, probably had 7 notarial stamps. 7 notarial stamps. And normally they want $15, so that's $105 that I would have to pay them. Then when I made that mistake, I had to go back and fix that, which was another $105 at 7 times 15, because it's a $25 fee that we can get paid for Ron, and then they take 15, we get 10. You see what I'm saying? I didn't have to pay that because the way .verify set up, they don't charge you for each and every single stamp that you do. You just pay a flat fee for them, and then you go in there. Now you have these little credits and stuff, and I had enough credits to go and fix 2 closings that I messed up, which not costing me anything, and I'm grandfathered into their lower thing where I pay $50 a month. So $50 covered that. And I will put it this way: with the run that I've done this year, I pay normally $600 a year for .verify. I've already made that money. I've already made the money for what I normally pay in Ron on .verify. So anything that I'm making now on Ron is basically profit. That's where I'm at right now. But I don't do a whole lot of Ron. So even if I didn't do another Ron this year, I've already broke even. And if I get another Ron, whatever the fee is that they pay me for that, I'm not paying every single time. I'm not doing that. You see what I'm saying? I'm not paying every single time I stamp. Whereas a lot of other ones do. And I know some of them have little caveats and this, that, and the other, where if you either don't pay them a whole lot of money, but then pay them for every time you stamp, or you pay them a whole bunch of money, then you don't have to pay them for stamping, and then you only get get like 1 or 2 stamps free a month. No, I ain't got time for all that. And with the Ron that a lot of people are dealing with these platforms, people are looking for somebody to send them work. .verify, I have to go out there and get my own work. And that's the thing. You see what I'm saying? That's the difference. Get a little parched. Oh, thank you very much. Thank you very much. Glad you liked the discussion. And Ron definitely sounds, yeah. You got to have your act together with Ron. And I like .verify because of that. It doesn't charge me for every single time I use my stamp. The other platforms do. That's their choice. I don't want to do that. I don't want to pay every time I do my stamp, because there's sometimes, because in Virginia, is with any notary, you don't have to charge somebody to do a notarization. So if somebody came to me and said, "Hey, Griff, can you notarize this for me?" Because it might be a friend of mine from way back and they need some help with something. Okay, cool, I'll do you. And the only way I can notarize it is electronically. I can't just volunteer and do that for them for free. I can't, because if the platform is charging me, then that means I just got to pay out of pocket. So I'm losing money. So where's my ability to do something good, a community service? How do I do free Ron notarizations when I'm being charged for every time I stamp? And I don't want to charge them, but somebody got to pay the platform that I'm using for stamping. That's my dividing line. I'm not saying those other platforms aren't good. I just know that there are times, like from time to time, notaries who will contact me to notarize their notarial application in Virginia. But they'll contact me for whatever reason. Instead of going to the bank or whoever, they want me to be the one to notarize it. So I would do it for them, and I won't charge them. I can't be on certain platforms and do that because the platform is going to charge me. Now you say, "Would you pay?" Yeah, I pay a flat fee, $50 a month for .verify. But every time I stamp, I don't have to pay for each and every single stamp. That's the thing. That's the difference for me. Hold on one second, y'all. Let me pull something up real quick. Hold on 1 second. All right. Hold on 1 second. Let me do something real quick for y'all. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So I had 9 notarizations yesterday. 9 notarizations yesterday. And typically, so that means that would have been $135 in notary seal fees that I would have had to pay, which means I had to go back and fix that raw closing, which meant I would have had to pay $270 just in notarial stamping fees. 9 times 15. Because what do? They take, you pay 25 and then they take 15 and I get 10. So I would have been at a loss. I would have been at a serious loss. I wouldn't have made any money at all. That's my concern. Now, unless somebody can show me how I'm supposed to make money doing that, and especially if the person has already set the fee and said, this is it. So what this does is I'm able to take sometimes a little bit lower fee. And keep in mind, my notarial fee per stamp, I can charge up to 25. So I don't have to charge 25. So technically, if somebody wants to pay me, so let's say 125 to do something, a quick real estate transaction, and it might have 6 notarizations in there, it don't have to be based off of $25. It could be based off of 15 for it to make financial sense for me. But with the platforms, I can't do that with them. They're telling me, you're going to pay me this. They're telling me we're going to charge 25 and we're taking 15 and you get 10. But what if I only want to pay y'all 10 for it? So then what? You see what I'm saying? Because it's my choice to do that. Now, if I'm wrong in this, somebody please correct me, whether now or later. But from my understanding, I'm supposed to set the fee of my notarial stamp. And if I'm wrong in that, and I'm throwing this out there because I want to be corrected if I am incorrect, because I'm still trying to understand how do I make money when I can charge 25 per stamp, but I got to pay somebody 15. And then if I make a mistake and I got to go back and fix it, I still got to pay. And especially if it's my mistake, you see what I'm saying? That part hasn't clicked into my head yet. And I've been trying to figure that out. And all of that, So, do you feel Ron is financially beneficial to you or having it as an option? I just think it's a great option for me to have. And when you understand how to do it, then it can be financially beneficial for you. It can be financially beneficial based off of the expense that you have to pay to do it. If you got to pay out a whole buttload of money, let's just say somebody do pay you $300. But if you got to pay $270, there was one closing that I did. I would have to say about 35 stamps. That's how big the loan packet was. It had to be close to 30, at least 30 stamps. So you're talking about 15 times 30. That's $450. I wouldn't have made any money on that. I would have been in the negative because the stamps that I'm paying somebody for is more than what I got paid. So you can get paid $300, but you got to pay $15 to somebody for every time you stamp. So you down, you out $150. So you got to come out of your pocket. That's where I'm calculating. And that's why I'm willing to put this out here, because if I'm wrong, then I'm fine with being educated on how I make money. If somebody offered me $300 for closing, but I have a big loan packet and they're telling me, and there's no negotiating because This is what they get paid. This is all they can pay. And then I go and do it. But my platform, not the person who hired me, but the platform is charging me for each and every single time I stamp. And I have a huge loan packet that I got to do 35 stamps on, or 30 stamps, or even 20. You see what I'm saying? How do I make money? Because I can't tell them, okay, I'm gonna charge you 600. So then that way, out of the 450, I can make some money. So, so then I at least net 150. Okay. You see what I'm saying? But then if I want to make 300, then you're talking about what? You're talking about what? Yeah, so you're talking about I would have to make about what, 700 minus. I would have to do about 750 minus 450. So yeah, I would have to charge them $750 in order for me to even. I don't know how all of that works, and I don't have time to figure it out. So Dot Verify has been very concise for me to figure out. I pay them a monthly fee. I do X amount of signings at whatever dollar amount, and whatever I get paid, I get to keep. I don't have to pay per stamp. I don't have to pay extra for time, any of that. That works for me. I'm not looking for Ron to be my main source where I'm just sitting at home all day just doing Ron close. Because to be honest, I don't think there's enough. Well, you have to find somebody who's doing Ron real estate closings every day. I need proof of that, because people be out there talking like, oh yeah, every day I'm doing 3 and 4 mortgage closings at $300 a pop. You are? Show me proof. Where's the proof of that? That you're doing that many Ron closings per day, and it takes time to get them suckers set up and uploaded and this, that, and the other, and you're doing 3-4 a day. Show me proof. Where is that coming from? Because I've not heard that anybody is out there doing that. Not saying that but where is that coming from? I need to see proof of that. Or are you doing closings or any kind of Ron and you're overcharging people for that? Are you overcharging people because it's Ron and you're making them pay you a high dollar amount, which legitimately they shouldn't be paying you? Maybe, maybe not. I don't know. And you're not obligated to show me your numbers. So it is what it is. And I have to use some common sense and say, well, is that legit what they're saying? Is it? And how do I make that happen? And do I have the bandwidth to sit there and do full? Because doing online Ron ain't as easy as y'all think. Why do you choose not to provide general notary using Google Business Page in addition to the loan signings? That would generate more business directly coming to you with no middleman getting a cut. The reason why I don't really do the general notary work is because people are very fickle in my area. People are fickle. I don't overcharge because, see, most notaries out here, they overcharge for Ron. I just charge the state fee of $5 per stamp, and I charge a $20 travel fee minimum. Because I'm doing so many loan closings, when people contact me for general notary work, 98% of the time I'm already booked and I don't have the bandwidth to do it. Remember earlier I talked about having bandwidth logistics. I don't have the bandwidth to do it all the time. I just don't. So I'm in the middle of doing, I'm doing a loan closing. Somebody will call me up and they'll be like, hey, can you come right now? I can't. And I legitimately can't. So I don't push. If it fits, I do it. But if it doesn't fit, so because I know what my schedule is on a day-to-day basis, and because I'm willing to take last-minute loan closings, whether Ron or face-to-face, I don't try to push doing the general notary work out there. And then you have the people that They don't want to pay. You tell them a $20 travel fee. Well, what can I do to not? It's like, well, where's your office? I don't have an office. I'm mobile. What can I? And then they're trying to get out of just paying the basic fee of $5 for a stamp. They're like, well, I just got one stamp. Okay, $5, that'd be $25. They don't even want to pay that. So for me, I don't have the patience. If you don't want to pay, I'm not sitting here trying to force you to pay. But I know I get paid with doing a loan closing. So it's not, and I'm not, see, I don't care about the signing company getting their fee. I don't. I don't care that the signing company got paid 150 and I got 75 and they got 75. I don't care. Because this is about everybody who's in the process making their money. So I don't care. My thing is, if you're picking me more than other people, then I'm making the money. So whether it's 75 or 150 or 300, the question is, are you picking me? So even if if a signing company did have $200 to pay every single time, the question is, are you picking me? Because if you're not picking me, it don't matter how much the signing company is paying. It doesn't matter, even with the general notary work. Okay, you're willing to pay 150, but well, let's just say you have something that I can charge 150, but if you're not willing to pay it, so I got somebody that's willing to pay me 75 versus somebody who's squawking over $25. It's $25. I can come and get it done in. Well, oh, is that much? Okay, I might have to go to the bank. All right, bye. I don't have the patience for that. Now, there's people out there, they want that money right now, right? Because a lot of people, they need the money in their hand to feel like I'm okay with waiting for the money. So that's the other side. Are you okay with waiting for the money? If you are, cool. If you're not, then you're going to lean more toward general notary because you feel that you can make money quicker. And then the question is, if the money you're making from general notary, are you overcharging the people that you're dealing with just so you can make up? Because in other words, I want to make 150 doing the loan like I did with the loan closings, but I don't want to wait for the 150. So I'm gonna do general notary and then I'm gonna charge them 150. And as long as your charge of 150 is justifiable and legal, then we good. Remember what I said earlier. Are you doing stuff legal and is it you? And if you're not the type of person that want to take advantage of people, then you can't be illegally charging people for doing general notary work when you know you shouldn't be because you're impatient and you don't have the wherewithal to wait for the money that you made last month to get paid this month. That's where this boils down to. Now, if I'm wrong, please correct me. And I'm not directing this at the event. I'm just answering it in general. That's how I look at this. Yes, I can make quick money with general notary work. But if I got to go through hoops, if you call me and say, yeah, and then I say, okay, I can meet you at 3:00. And then I said, well, can you send me the address? Okay, I'll text you. So you called me at 12:30. I said, I'll meet you at 3 because that's when you said you're available. I asked you to text me. And then here it is 2:00. I don't hear anything from you. So now I done held up my whole day. Or part of my day. And then when I call you, you don't answer. When I text you, you don't answer. And then you finally text back, oh, I found somebody else. So you just made me waste time and money. That cost me. And all I was gonna make was 25. Now my focus is gonna be loan closings because I get that work. Now, if I wasn't getting that work, then I do what I gotta do. Okay, I'll push that. And I guarantee you, a lot of people who don't really push or try to do loan closings, it's because they don't really get them. And then you have to ask the question, why aren't you getting loan closings? What have you done for people not to pick you? Because for me, it's all about being picked. So even if it is a $60 order, 65, 95, am I getting picked over everybody else? And if I am, then I'm happy because every order that I take is an order that my competition don't get. I wouldn't overcharge how it helps fill the gaps when there isn't signing opportunities. Like, yeah, and I do the field inspection. That's what I was doing today, and that's why I was telling the other company my day is already set, and I have 4 or 5 house inspections that I had, 5 house inspections that I had to do today. I can set my own schedule to my, and for the most part, my schedule is pretty set because, well, see, when you're doing it full time, it's like, okay, yeah, I can do it. Yeah, I can do it. I can do it. You know, general notary, the people that call me for that, they're like, I need you right now. And I'm like, well, I'm currently in an appointment. Can I meet you in about 2 hours? No, I need it now. Okay, well, I'm not available at the moment because I'm currently doing an appointment. Or if I got 5 or 6 appointments that day, I have no bandwidth whatsoever. There's no, I can't meet with them. So, so yeah. So it's not, so I don't look at it as a loss. It's just I can't meet with them. I refer them to other notaries, and either they go with them or not. And then the other notaries call me and say, they ain't want to pay my fee. And they don't charge a whole lot. So now I'm dealing with this person who didn't really want to pay any money anyway, and you wanted me to stop what I'm doing to come run to you. For me, the sure money right now is loan closings. Yeah, it might take me 30 or 60 days to get paid, but I know I'm going to get paid. I'm doing the work in such a way, people, that I got the money coming in. Sometimes it's not as much as I would like because the fees have gone down. I get that, but I got something coming in. That's why I work hard during the first part of the month, the middle, and the end of the month. I just work hard throughout so that I got something coming in. It's not always to the level that I want, but it's more than zero. So, but see, that's the thing. This is why when people ask me, would you take an order under these certain circumstances? I hesitate answering it because my situation is way different than most people. My outlook and my desire and my drive is way different. So it would be unfair, in my opinion, to answer that question and tell you and say, even if I would take it and say yes, when I know you're not business wise and you're not looking at the business the same way I look at it. Would I take a order that's an hour away? There are times where I would. Why? Because even though it might be only $65, but the mileage deduction that I get, or it might be a company that I've never done a closing for before. So guess what? I want to make a good impression. I'll do this order for you so I can get in their system. So I can get on their good graces. Like, oh, okay, well, yeah, we got grip. Why? Because that's an order that my competition doesn't have. That's how I look at this. I've said that a couple of weeks ago. Every order that I take that I legitimately can do, that's an order my competition don't get. I'm in the business of making money and keeping you from making money. We cool. I'll share with you. I'll give you the tips, tricks, all of that, whatever you want to call it. But guess what? That order roll across my screen, I'm slapping it as fast as I can. I'm going to take it from you. So you better be quicker than me. You got to be quicker than that. Ooh, can't get it. Got to be quicker than that. And that's how I look at it. We cool with each other. But man, oh man, if we standing there next to each other and the order come in, I ain't going to say nothing to you. Yeah, what's going on here? Hey, what's that over there? Man, grip. Oh man, yeah, I got 5 for tomorrow. So while you talking to me, I'm like, hey, what's that? Oh, never mind. I thought I was seeing things. I'm about. So the notaries in my area know if an order come out, if they ain't getting it, more than likely Griff got it. And notaries have told me that, man. I say, you got that? Yeah, I got it. I got it. Because I understand I'm in Texas and opportunities are pretty good, but it has to be at my convenience to do loan signings, all day title signings, and apostilles. I'm considering adding Ron. Yeah, and yeah, I mean, you do what you got to do for you. And when you have the proper knowledge, you're not going to get got. Nobody's going to get over on you when you have the knowledge. And then if they do get over on you, now the question is, are you going to address them about it? In some cases, you can get your money back. Some cases, you may not. But I'm the type, if you messing with me, I'm going to have a conversation with you. It's that simple. That's me. I don't tell anybody they should do that, but I'm the type. That's why I say you have to figure out how you are going to address it. But one thing I most definitely know, if I feel you got me, I'm not spending no more money for you with you, hoping that you won't get me the next time. But they got me this time, but the next time, no, 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 no. Mm-mm. I'm not messing with. Thank you, Griff, for teaching us to read instruction. I had a signing company who I worked with for multiple times, who I explain I'm doing great, but other notaries in Long Island aren't listening. Yeah, that's what I was going to talk about last night was instructions. I was going to talk some more about instructions because I mean lately I've been seeing these instructions and I'm like, when you can follow instructions, you're golden. You're golden. That's really what it boils down to. So I hope y'all really got value out of this. Actually, we're only going to talk about 20 minutes, but of course, it done lasted 2 hours. Y'all know how I do. I honestly and truly do care for each and every one of y'all, even though I personally don't know you, but I do care about your success in this business. However, rather than ghost you, I'm just don't babysit you. I'm not going to babysit you. I will do what I can to help you out, but I'm going to push you beyond your level of comfortability. I'm going to challenge you to do your own research, to Google stuff, to listen to the videos that I put out, and learn to listen and pay attention to what's being said in the video. And as I tell people all the time, that's why I don't have a mentor program, because mentorship takes a lot of effort to work with somebody and you have to get to know them. We don't have time for that. So I tell people, if you're talking about mentorship from me, it starts with watching my videos. You look at the videos. After you look at the video, if there's something that wasn't clear in the video, not a problem. Then ask me, let me know what the timestamp of that was. And then I go look at, oh, okay, this is what it is. If I, one of the things, if I said this is how something is, and then you ask me to verify that I said that, my question then is, what makes you think that I didn't mean what I said? So let's just say if I say, I'm trying to think of something. Goodness, I can't think of something. I'm trying to think of something that somebody asked me before, but whatever it is, if I say, hey, when I'm doing such and such, this is what I do. Not that I'm saying that you should do it, but if I say this is what I do, and then you say, okay, so do I need to take that as you're doing? What other way is there to take it? And I know everybody's comprehension level is different, but you know what I'm saying? Because I'm trying to understand that if I articulated that this is what I do. So let's just say, like, okay, case in point, people say, why do you use Verify? Well, I use Verify primarily, one, because that was the first platform that I was introduced. I didn't know about these other ones. And second, the cost, it's a low cost for me. And then third, I don't have to pay for every time I put my notary stamp on a document. So what you're saying is what? I just said what I've said. I just said the reason why. So the reason, so not paying for a notary stamp, that what you're saying is one of the reasons why? If that's what I said, then yes. You see what I'm saying? So that's the part that I'm trying to figure out is why people don't believe certain things. I don't understand. So that's why I have to ask the question, and people get upset with me because if you ask me a question about something that I know I've articulated, or you refer to, and I show you, okay, well, the video says this, and then you ask me to explain what I already explained, then I'm like, okay, what is it that you didn't understand? Because if I said this, what is that well, I'm just trying to make sure. Again, if you're trying to make sure of something, what is making you doubt it? When your husband, when your wife, your spouse tells you, I love you, and you ask them, so do you really love me? I just said that. Well, I just want to make sure. Okay, then that means there's some doubt. There's some doubt somewhere in there that you are, after somebody told you, hey, we're going to give you a 5% pay raise because we really appreciate all the hard work because you're the only one that's been really sticking in here with us during this hard and trying time. So we're going to give you a 5% pay raise to go along with this promotion. You don't go back and ask them, so are you really, so you going to give me a raise and a promotion? But that's what I just said. And that gave you the letter that said that. Well, I'm just trying to make sure. You know, you can't do that in your W-2. They're going to be like, what is wrong with this person? Didn't we just have a team meeting? And I said, I'm promoting, we'll just use Yvette. Well, I'm promoting Yvette to senior manager and giving her a 5% pay raise. And then you come back and ask me, am I doing that because you just want to make sure? What did I say in the presentation that made you believe that I was lying? You see what I'm saying? He said it was an estate planning company. They always pick me now. I became a channel member after this conversation. Appreciate that, man. Appreciate that. I got you covered. If you got any questions, need any help with anything, you know, people who are channel members, I do one-on-ones with y'all, all of that, and everything. So, and again, I'm not trying to be mean. What I'm trying to do is encourage you to get out of self-doubt, get out of this phase or this part of your life where you're always doubting everything. And especially when solid information is coming to you, irregardless who it's coming from. Because even some of these people who I think are somewhat scammers, sometimes they speak the truth in certain things, but you hear it and then it's like, well, I just want to make sure. What are you unsure about? Say hello, Mr. Griff. Happy you're here. I really appreciate you taking out the time to do this video live. You're dropping some jewels. I appreciate it. You know, you're very, very welcome. Look, I've been where y'all are at. And sometimes we want assurance because we're scared. We don't want to fail. We haven't been taught how to fail and rebound. Many people have not learned, have they been taught or learned how to fail at something and rebound and move forward and be successful. Most people fail at something and then they run away from what they failed at and go try to do something else. They failed in a relationship. And instead of figuring out how to fix that relationship, both parties just ran away from each other. Trying to raise your kids. I just send them to grandma or granddad. Send them off, or as some cultures do, send them off to boarding school. So you failed at something. So you never learned how to face what you failed and then figure out what the fix is and then make it into something great. That's the true making of a business owner. That's what we admire out of the Steve Jobs, Elon Musk, Bill Gates, Trump, who else? Jeff Bezos, Mark Cuban, Jay-Z, Beyonce, all of these people, they failed miserably at things, knowingly and unknowingly, and they turned around and made their life what it is today. What are you going to do when you fail at something? And the failure shouldn't define you. failure shouldn't mean that, oh, I failed at this and that's it. See, a lot of people don't want anything to be called a failure in their life. And that's the biggest mistake that you could ever make. When you refuse to have failure in your life, you're always going to be under stress. You're going to always be under doubt. You're always going to be on a swoop, like looking around because you're afraid that somebody might see you not being your best. And you're thinking they're going to pick at you and make you feel bad. And I'm going to tell you right now, in most of those Facebook groups, that's what they do. And it's all a ploy to get you to depend on them and to spend your money with them. Because most of you are paying money to people to make you feel good about this business. There's no amount of money you could ever pay to anybody to feel good about being in this business. You either feel good about it or you don't. And the only reason why you should feel good or not feel good is based off of you understanding what this business is all about. But when you have not taken the time out to learn what this business is about, guess what? You have doubts. And you're looking for somebody to mitigate that doubt, mitigate that fear, and they do it at a price that far exceeds what you ever thought you would pay. And you don't have the money because you're not making money with this business. You don't have the money, so you're using your W-2 money. You're using your whoever money, who you get money from, to pay somebody to take away fear. And all they did was took away one piece of fear and replace it with another. And you know I'm telling the truth. And I don't have to call any names out because you look at the behavior of the people who are doing it. They're constantly bringing fear into your life. They're constantly making you feel doubtful. And then you pay them to remove that by taking their course to learn, oh, this is how you explain the documents. But then you don't know how to notarize. All of this self-wealth and money mastery and morning mastery and evening mastery and all this meditation and stuff. Majority of those people take that stuff from somebody else. You can go get the book and figure it out yourself. All they're doing is regurgitating what somebody else who's been way more successful than them, and they're just like, okay, because they have deficiencies in their life. A lot of these people got deficiencies in their life, and they need that kind of motivation and self-talk and affirmation. That's the word I'm looking for, affirmation, to keep them grounded so they won't give up. And then they're using it as a catalyst to get money out of you to come to my get self-help, to my affirmation thing, when you probably that's not the type of person you are, and you're very self-motivated. You just need to understand, okay, how does this business work? And you just need the truth of the matter. But many of you aren't getting the truth of the matter from them, and you're not researching it for yourself. So therefore, you're in this little void of no knowledge, and you don't know which way to go. And the only way to go is to go toward the knowledge. Find out what this business is about from your state. Sit back, pay attention, and understand, okay, this is what I'm supposed to do, and then go execute it. And when you do that, you'll see like, wow, it wasn't as bad as I thought. You went and got married, you ain't know nothing about it. You had kids, you ain't know nothing about it. You took a promotion, you ain't know anything about it. You moved across country, you ain't know anything about it. You went in the military, you ain't know anything about it. You bought a car and you don't know how to fix it. But you do what it takes to have that car, and you go and pay somebody else to fix it. There's so much we do in our life that we didn't know about, but we stepped out on faith and made it happen. And then you become a notary and you act like you can't stamp anything until you done spent $6,000 to a bunch of people who have no desire to see you really prosper. They just want your money. And they themselves ain't even doing notary no more. Some of them can't do any notary anymore because they done did some stuff that you probably don't know about that they did, and which bans them from being a notary. Or nobody wants to use them, even if they do have a commission. They're like, I don't like that person. I don't trust them. They don't know what they're doing. So we'll teach. Don't think that's not happening out there. Don't think that some of these people who are teaching notary stuff is teaching it because they really want to help you. They don't put a whole bunch of money in here and they can't get selected like you can't get selected. And now they want to teach you how to get selected, but they can't even get selected. That's like that's like you sending your kid, that's like you going to a football camp that's being ran by people who never made it into the NFL. That didn't even make D1 football. That didn't even play. It's like, how you gonna help me get somewhere and you couldn't even get there? And yes, there's the rare person that can help you get there. They never did, but you can see it in them that they have what it takes. Y'all see it that these people don't have what it takes. All right, let me get on out of here, y'all, because I was not trying to stay here this long, but it is what it is. Again, I appreciate you. I really, really do. And see, like this guy here, Notary John, I have a lot of respect for him because he went out there and learned what this business is for him, and he's doing what he got to do. I respect him for that. And not that I have any reason to disrespect him. I'm just saying I respect him because he, it's like, I'm gonna just go out here and do it. And I think what the part of the city he is, I think he primarily uses public transportation. And many times I've talked to him on the phone and he's on the bus or subway or whatever, going out there doing his thing. So he's not allowing, I don't know if he has a car, maybe he does that, never asked, but he's not allowing transportation to be a barrier. He's getting out there and doing it. I'm like, if Oswald can do it in the big old city of New York, and he's getting around doing what he got to do, why can't the rest of us do it? And he's very motivating to me because he's out there doing what he got to do. I don't know all the logistics behind it. I just know he's out there doing it. And I said, well, if he can do it, then I can do it. I just got to figure out my method of doing it. So you are really changing the mindset of many. Blessings to you and your family. Thank you very much. And hello to you, Lona. So y'all be blessed. Enjoy your day. If I get time, I'll do that video. Probably just record the video on the instructions, because the instructions are very important right now. And if you get that down pat, you'll be fine, and all of that. But I really appreciate each and every one of y'all. I just want y'all to get out there, do the business. The members, y'all know, if you're a member of the channel, if you get an order, just give me a holler, and we'll do a document review to make sure you're straight, and you go out there and do it, and all that good stuff, so it's in your hands. It's in your hands. Don't be like me. I'm not even gonna say be better than me. Just be yourself. Just be who you are. Take care of your family and be satisfied with the level of effort that you are able to put into business at this point, and then grow from there. Don't try to put a level of effort that is beyond what your ability is to do right now. Put the level of effort that you know you can do and that you can handle, and be satisfied with that. And don't let anybody make you feel bad about the level of effort that you're putting into this business whatsoever. And if you can live your life like that, I'm telling you, you will be fine. All right. Talk to y'all later. Peace.